Spoiler alert, spoiler alert, spoiler alert. Okay? So if you didn't hear me say it, I said what? Spoiler alert. Greetings and salutations. This is your girl, Outspoken Diva. And let's have a talk about it, shall we? What are we talking about today? Today we are talking about the documentary Luther Never Too Much that premiered New Year's Day on the CNN. Certainly there were a lot of other screenings and stuff for him. I know it was at, I think Tribeca. I know, and other places that have, like the film fest. It did the film festival scene in 2024, but it's supposed to be on, CNN own and Max acquired the rights to show them on their channels. And New Year's Day, CNN showed it. Luther Never Too Much is about the singer Luther Vandross, who is famed as one of the best love song singers of our time. And yeah, I sat down New Year's night and I watched it. And let me see. I can't call myself a major Luther fan, but I do have some songs that I like to tap my toe to. My favorite song is a duet he did with Gregory Hines, famed actor and tap dancer, um, called "There's Nothing Better Than Love." I love that song. I always loved "Never Too Much" as a kid, and some other songs. So yeah, I think everyone had a song or two that they loved of Luther's. My grandmother, who only preferred gospel, Duke Ellington, Lou Rawls, and John Legend, even like the Here and Now, and there was a song he had. The close isn't the close. No, it's not the close I get to you. There is a song he had with Cheryl Lynn. I can't. It's leaving me right now, but yeah, she liked those songs. So I think everyone love the Luther song from time to time, but no one to me loved him better than Baby Boomer, black baby boomer ladies. Oh my gosh! If you don't know, I have an aunt. My oldest aunt, she loves her some Luther. Christmas time, I'm like the activities person, and this year I put in a Luther question. It was true or false. Luther had a Christmas album, and her son, one of her oldest sons, said false, and you could see the eyes burying in his head because she got that wrong. I was like, oh man, you're in trouble. So yeah, but y'all know when I do reviews of things, movies, docs, TV shows, y'all know what we're gonna do, right? We're gonna do the good, the bad, and the diva of it all. So the good, the bad, the diva of Luther, Never Too Much. That was the other song I was trying to think of. Was Never Too Much. Was that the other song? No. Okay. Anyways, the good. It's gonna be a lot of good, very little bad, and a little diva, and some diva. Okay. Good. It's a very good documentary. Okay, to me, it's very good. I wasn't like I've heard a few people say they were emotional. I didn't get emotional about it, but but it was still a good documentary. The good. We get to hear Luther in his own words. Luther passed away in 2005. So, of course, he can't be with us in current times to talk. So, they use a lot of his interviews and stuff, which is good because, okay, I grew up, I'm in the latter part of Generation X, and there was a time where everything was not reran, especially interviews and things of that nature. And there was no internet to go look up, someone's interview because they said this. So a lot of this stuff I did not see. Okay, so I was happy to see him talk in his own words. We talk about his upbringing, um, Uh, I did not know that Luther went to college. Uh, I just thought Luther graduated from high school, and then he started his background work and doing jingles. I didn't know anything. He did Sesame Street with his little friends and his group. Not his little friends, but his group and stuff. And I did not know he went to college first, and that kind of thing. So that was good to know. His interview style, things that were salacious. I loved how Luther put people in their place. I mean, it starts at the beginning. I told y'all, spoiler alert. It starts at the beginning when he's talking to Joan Rivers and she asks, "Did you have a poor upbringing?" And he was like, "If we were poor, you have to ask my mom. I know it was a lot of love. There were Christmas presents at Christmas time. So, yeah, if we were poor, talk to my mom. That kind of stuff. Because everybody loves a rags to riches story, even though everybody, just because, that's not a focal point to, you know, I'm here for my talent, not whether I was poor and I pulled myself from my bootstraps and stuff like that. Ugh. Okay. Um, Luther talks about uh they talk about him wanting to be a crossover act. He wanted to be more pop. He felt like he was pigeonholed into only, black music. And they talk about the going to record stores. You gotta go all the way to the back where the black music is and stuff like that. And we talk about, you get to see points of him during award season, not getting the awards and these kind of things. I mean, I know, of course, you want the recognition, you want your music to be for be seen by everyone. But me, myself, I'm kind of glad, we got to keep him for as long, us, the community, the black community, got to keep our black bard to us for a while. I mean, even though he really wasn't, I mean, white people did know Luther, but I'm glad he got to be ours, because it's a lot of black artists that uh became pop stars early on that I really wish we could have to ourselves. I know that's selfish, but okay. But yeah, I'm glad we got to keep Luther for a while, as long as he was our secret. But I am glad that he got to cross over and make his, be seen by other people. Of course, we get to hear in his own words about the weight loss, you know, and the weight gain, the up and down and stuff like that. We get to talk about his frustrations with all of that, how his relationship with food was kind of unhealthy, and then some of the ways, you get to see how interviewers talk to him about even the Luther burger. I always thought that was a rumor until I saw that interview, and I was like, that's rude to bring up, but he handles it. Again, his interview style with things that he did not want to discuss, or it's salacious and stuff. The way he answered questions was mwah, wonderful. Okay, I wish, but again, this is during the time of when people still had PR and media training. So, okay. Let's go, let's go, let's go. I want to make sure I don't have these things in exact order. They went out to my head. New perspective of songs. A lot of his songs. Uh, there's nothing better than love is not covered. I wish it would have been, but uh, some of his songs are discussed, you know. And there is one song that he felt was autobiographical, and that was Any Love. And he wanted to, have Any Love. He felt like that was an autobiographical song. And it gave me a very new perspective of that song. So, because, I mean, it is known that, as the singer of so many love songs, he never got to have his own romantic love. Okay, so no, he never found his one true love. So before he left this world, again, This documentary is not salacious at all. There is no we bring up this and bring up that. The handling of Patti LaBelle, calling herself, the accusations of him being gay on an Andy Cohen show. I don't know the name of the show because I don't really rock with Andy Cohen. I know who he is, but yeah. So yeah, those his inner sanctum of friends, yeah, they're not really happy with Miss LaBelle. So and they handle those that topic about his sexuality in a manner, that friends could do, So even there's one friend, I think it's the one that they've been friends since 11th grade. Um, she was like, even if he is, if he's not, and she was still gonna love him regardless because that was her brother. No selections. We don't go into details about anybody that he was on the road with, how he treated them, all that kind of stuff. Other acts and stuff like that. No. The stars that are on are either his mentors or his mentees, and they speak well of him. Especially Dionne Warwick. There is a point of they show footage of him honoring her because Luther, a lot of songs, especially a lot of popular songs that Luther sang were covers. Okay, I mean I knew that already. And "A House Is Not Home" was first a Dionne Warwick song, and he sung that honoring her at an NAACP Image Awards. Um, Image Awards show, and she talks about that. You can see her passion and her emotion watching him do this song, and just to watch her talk about, those talk about now how she felt those years back then, how she felt back then. It's wonderful to see. I myself, I even though she was one of his mentors and someone he looked up to, I believe Dionne Warwick was a major fan. She's one of those baby boomer black baby boomer ladies that does love them some Luther. Which leads me to my next point: the toothy grin of black baby boomer women and their fandom during his performances that they show. You just see them just. I mean, there are places where these women are dressed in their formals and 9 to 5s, and Luther gets up there and they just, oh my God, and it is such a pure moment to watch his fandom and things of that nature, doing concerts, doing footage, when he's walking about signing autographs and stuff. Though that not generation, but that culture of ladies, that small pocket of ladies, they love them some Luther, okay, and his fans are his fans. They really did love him. So yeah, that subset, that's the word I want to say, subset of fans, they loved him. The jokes about Luther had a very interesting way of handling jokes. Seemingly, I heard that I heard the joke. I mean, I'm a fan of Eddie Murphy. Um, Eddie Murphy doing his Delirious album makes a joke about women love Luther, loving Luther. About, oh yeah, they love him some Luther. He's a Kentucky Fried Chicken eating MF. So there's some concert footage of Luther coming out, and Luther used to do a lot of jingles, and Kentucky Fried Chicken was one of them. And he brings out this big, ginormous prop bucket of chicken, no, like Kentucky Fried Chicken bucket, and then he starts singing the jingle. And I think they said that Eddie Murphy was in the audience, like I heard you. So yeah, that was cool. That was funny to watch. Then the handling, of course, of his final stroke and death, it's handled very, very meticulously, very, very wonderful. We see footage from his funeral and things of that nature. Of course, it was because some of them, a lot of people believe it's because of his, up and down of the weight. And he also was diabetic, so that yo-yoing up and down was not healthy for him. So, of course. And then y'all know I love a good little quote, right? Okay, his niece, she comes on, and they, of course, they honor Luther posthumous. I can't never say that word. After his death, with a star on the Walk of Fame, and she's talking. She's like, "You can't think of Luther without thinking of love," and that is the truth. Luther Vandross, other how many songs you can think that is more salacious other than maybe like She Creep, no Creep Creep Creep, that song. How many not so loving songs does Luther have? You can't really think of them other than what I just said. Okay, you can't think of Luther Vandross without thinking about a love song, because that's what he was about, love. Okay, love songs. Okay, all right. Let's talk about the bad. My bads are very nitpicky. Okay, Clive Davis comes on the screen because I am a fan not Clive, of Unsung, and a lot of people of the Arista Records family. I think Luther Vandross is probably the only person that did not have a complaint about Clive Davis. As soon as I saw Clive Davis come on that screen, I was annoyed. I was like, oh, why? But okay, of course, he worked with him and he brought him to heights that he was not getting to without him. So but I really didn't want Clive Davis there. And then the other nitpick I have is the pacing. Clearly, this documentary was not made for TV, and it showed mightily. When it got to commercial breaks, there was not. It was not gradual. It was like someone stopped they let them stop the sentence, and then we was on to the commercials. And it went through that the whole time period that it was on. So I think the doc is an hour and 40 minutes. Then you add in the commercial break, so we're talking about 2 hours. So okay, and like I said, it was very choppy. It was very no when we to get to commercials. That was so. I advise if you can watch it on a streaming service when it gets to a streaming service. I advise that. Okay, you can watch it with none commercials. I would advise you watch that. So yeah. Now we time for the diva. The diva. My friendship cousin, little brother, he and I are fans of this song, How Can I Ease the Pain, by one Lisa Fischer. Lisa Fischer was once a background singer for Luther Vandross. Uh, I'll leave the song down below. She has a very gradual crescendo into a high note. Uh, I'm not gonna call her name, but there's one that y'all just love to. Lisa just effortlessly did that high note in that song. But she's in this documentary. As soon as I saw her, I was like, "Oh my God, there goes Lisa Fischer!" And I'm texting little brother as if he's watching. He's like, "No, I haven't seen it, but she's on there. Oh my God!" And she looked good. She looked amazing, and I was happy to see her. So yeah. Um, the concert outfits. Oh my God. As soon as I saw that, I always, first of all, I don't think anyone said it, but I think Luther Vandross's favorite color was green. It starts out at the beginning with him in these green shoes. And then, y'all remember the She Creep video? It was a concert, and the lady comes out in this beautiful green ball gown, and it's sparkly, what's that, sequins and stuff, glittery gown. And as soon as I saw the concert footage, I was like, "Oh my God, there goes those gowns." And the lady, she goes, well, she creepy, she well, that kind of stuff. So, it was good to see those dresses, and I found out that Luther inspired all of his the costume and stuff for his concerts and stuff. So that was it was one, and it reminded me of when I went to the National African American Museum in DC. Hope I said that all right. If not, y'all know what I'm talking about. The Black Smithsonian. And I saw the exhibit. I put a picture here of that of Luther's concert wear. And yeah, I was like, oh my god, that goes those. Oh, that gown was beautiful. I wish I was old enough to have gone to a Luther concert and see that gown. But I remember watching video songs and stuff, and I saw that it just brought me back to. It was nostalgic to me. All right, now the most diva thing that I can talk about. I want to talk about the beautiful friendship that is shown in this documentary. Those people that are Luther's friends, they honored him in such a way. I'm not just talking about because of the whole um, things that Patty LaBelle said. I'm just talking about how they spoke of him. I'm not talking about they were being drippy, drip dropping, sappy and stuff. No, you saw the true philos love, the brotherly love between that they had for Luther Vandross. There is no mistake. Those were his friends. They cared, they loved him, they miss him, and the way they spoke of him and talked about him, they loved him. His nickname was Ronnie. You can tell they loved Ronnie. Okay, they loved Luther. It wasn't just oh, he was paying us or any of that. We're talking about people that he had known since high school, middle school, and those type of days. Until now, we're talking about people who became his friends later as the adults. You can tell those who are his friends. Even Dionne Warwick, I know that Luther Vandross was her. They were friends because the way they spoke about him. People who were considered his friends on this documentary, they honored him. They cared for him. They cared about what they said about him. They didn't just wasn't trying to spill the tea and all of those kind of things. It was wonderful to see. If they ever do a biopic after I left this world, after I've written my memoir or autobiography, and my friends don't have the care, y'all punch them. Now, you probably won't have to punch them, but you probably won't. I know my friends, but you probably won't. But yeah, people deserve that kind of brotherly love, brotherly, sisterly love that Luther had. He may not have had the romantic love, may not have found the romantic love, but it is so good to know that he knew genuine brotherly, sisterly love from friends. Okay, and probably his family too. The way his niece talked about him, it was probably family love too, but familiar love also. But these friends, oh, it was beautiful to watch. Y'all know I ride for my friends, so you know it was just like I said, it was beautiful, and yeah. So yeah, that is the end of the good, the bad, the diva of Luther Never Too Much documentary. Did you watch it? How did you feel about it? Was it a good time for you? Let me know down in the comments below this video on the social media site that you see this on, except Facebook. Y'all leave them down below on YouTube. Or, of course, you can always shoot me an email at the email address that's in the description box, okay? Other than that, as the bard Luther Vandross said, there's nothing better than love, okay? And other than that, talking to you in adult terms.